The Geno Jones Show is coming on now.
It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? It is showtime, Geno Jones Showtime. My weekend review show, and man, it's been a hell of a week. So I'll come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern if you're in Chicago, 5:30, out in LA, 3:30. Subscribe, share, screen grab, like, binge watch, please. Leave your comments on the show in the comment section. If you're watching me live right now, I have a live chat room that's open, so if you got a question, you want to get in on the conversation, you got a comment, please, you can put it up in my chat room live when I'm live on camera. But please leave your comments, good, bad. If you love it, like it, think I'm the shit, whatever. Hey, it's Friday. So, you know, we have fun. We're making fun on Friday. So whatever your comments are, be sure, please, leave your comments in the comment section. The Geno Jones Show is brought to you by CM, like Mary. That's my mom's name. CM Transportation, LLC. Shout out to the CEO, Carissa Carter. If your business, if your current business, or maybe you're about to launch a new business, and you need a transportation company that is dependable, reliable, and on time, not CP time, CM Transportation LLC.net, CM Transportation LLC.net. You can call. They're based here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro. They do business nationwide. So 843 area code 606-2702, 606-2702, 606-2702, 843 area code. All right. So some folks are watching me live right now. It's Friday. It's our weekend review show. So Keela Carson, it's okay because she's going to talk about it Monday. Keela is on a date, on a date that she is enjoying very much. I just talked to her, so she had my blessing. I said, you are my sister, so enjoy your date since it's going well, and she will come on Monday. So the normal guest host that she does with me, guest co-hosting on Friday, she's going to do on Monday. All right, let's jump right into it. Since there's so much talk about all these polls and President Biden should drop out, he's too old, like Orange Hitler is like some young ass man who's just a couple years younger. He's like 78, Biden's 81, 3 years, something like that. Yeah, really, stop playing with people, media. And I talked about that Tuesday show. Tuesday's monologue was incredible. You got to check it out. And shout out to everybody that was watching me live on Tuesday. It was just really an incredible show. But I told you, I told you why the media is doing what they're doing. The media wants the chaos, they want the confusion, they want the conflict, they want the train wreck, they want the violence, because it makes good television, good visuals. Oh, let's go to a live shot of the Democrats arguing with each other. Let's get a live shot of these Democrats telling President Biden he should drop out. Let's get a live shot of the Democrats fighting. Oh, let's look for, in the meantime, let's look for a car crash and some violence, either bad weather, death and destruction. Let's get it on camera. If it bleeds, it leads. That was like an old school term back in the day in the newsroom. In newsrooms, if it bled, it led. I mean, if it was somebody bleeding, a car accident, a crash, some kind of disaster, a murder, first thing you're gonna hear, if it bleeds, it leads. The news media is always looking for, it's like the season finale for like your favorite sitcom. It's like the season finale of Scandal back in the day, or the season finale of The West Wing, or Tyler Perry's The Oval, or like some Game of Thrones season finale shit. This is what this is like with the media. The media does not give a damn about democracy. The only thing the media cares about, the stars with a D, is dollars. That plain and simple. That's the only D they care about, is the dollars. Democracy, they could give a damn about it. Diversity, nope, none of that. None of that. The only D that the corporate news media, all these media outlets care about, cable too, is the dollars. Now, there's supposed to be something called the fourth estate that holds power accountable, including our government. Man, forget about that. They want Orange Hitler. They want the train wreck that they had. They want the live shots of thousands of people dying, where morgues are overrun, where they had to literally, hospitals, they had to lease out and rent out like refrigerated trucks that meat packers use to freeze and keep their meats cold. They had to store humans in these big meat lockers in these trucks, frozen trucks, because they couldn't, the morgues were full because so many people were dying of COVID in early and mid, just in that entire, especially like the late spring and the fall of 2020. It was horrible. And who was behind that? Orange Hitler. So here's a new poll from an organization called Black Pack. Because you've heard all these other polls. Oh, President Biden, oh, he's down by 2 or 3. Oh, he's up by 2. Oh, he's tied. But oh, what about in the battleground states? I've been hearing all these polls in the battleground states. Oh, Donald Trump I call him, on this show, he's Orange Hitler. Oh, Biden is losing to Trump in all the battleground states. Now, here's a question to all my brothers and sisters, to all the black Americans, all the black folks watching me right now, all my African Americans, really my Afro-Latino brothers too, but to all the black folks watching me right now, live or whenever you're watching the show. How many times have you been polled by a pollster from Gallup or ABC, whatever, or New York Times? Just how many times? I'll wait. I don't have to wait long. Most black people I know, 5+ decades on this planet, I've never been polled by a pollster. Not one time. Never, ever, ever. Nobody in my family. My grandparents have been gone for 40 years now. My mother has never been polled, ever in her life. Myself, my 2 sisters, my daughters, all my cousins, my first cousins, nobody, no black person I know. Nobody I went to elementary school with, nobody I went to high school with, nobody in college, at Columbia College, Chicago. None of my neighbors. I don't know any black person say, oh yeah, I was polled by Gallup or YouGov or ABC or New York Times. None of them. CNN, none of them have been polled by a pollster. So Black Pack is a polling group that is black owned, very credible, very accurate. But now, how many times have you heard CNN or ABC or CBS or the New York Times, or I call it Trump TV? Really, you got like 3 of them now. You got Fox, Fake News, Newsmax, and News Nation. How many times have you heard, even MSNBC? I think maybe once, probably Joy Reid or my sister Tiffany, when Tiffany was doing the show on Saturday morning. I can't think of Tiffany's last name right now. So there's a new poll from a black polling organization called Black Pack. And they polled black voters in the 7 key battleground states. That would be Pennsylvania, that would be Michigan, that would be Wisconsin, that would be Georgia, probably North Carolina. They may have did Arizona, maybe Nevada or Virginia. But I can guarantee you, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, North Carolina, Georgia now, because Georgia now is a swing state, and like maybe Virginia. They may have thrown, even though it's not a whole bunch of black folks. Well, actually, it's probably more black folks than I would give credit in Arizona, out there in Phoenix burning up. Man, I pray for y'all, or maybe Nevada. Anyway, so 7 key battleground states. A black polling organization, Black Pac, shows that black voters in those 7 key battleground states, I'm waiting to hear this on cable news. I'm waiting to hear this, Lester Holt, who is going to sit down with President Biden. Talk about that, Lester Holt, on Monday night. Here are the numbers. President Biden's popularity among black voters in these 7 key battleground states since the disastrous debate has surged, not dropped. President Biden's support among black voters in these 7 key battleground states went from 50% to 65%. Now, in the same poll, Black Pac, support for Orange Hitler went from 8% down to 7%. Now, you didn't hear that, did you? And that, no. Nobody on scene. Wolf Blitz ain't told you about that. Craig Melvin and Hoda Kotb and I can't even think of the other one. Who Samantha Guthrie, who really gets on my nerves sometimes, and she seems like she's phony. She try to act like she's cool, but she's like always trying to really But that's kind of NBC's, not so much MSNBC, but NBC's. They're like, we are the premier news organization, and we ask the tough questions, and we're not afraid to ask powerful people, but they can be an ass with it. And sometimes Samantha and Craig Melvin, Samantha Guthrie, Holders, not quite as bad. She's got a little more likability to her. Now, I love Chanel Jones on the Today Show, but so those numbers, all right, I need you to spread this. As a matter of fact, screen grab, rip this video, rip about a minute of it, about 60 seconds of it with those poll numbers, and make it go viral. Create a YouTube short, put it up on TikTok, on Threads, on X or Twitter, on Snapchat, on Facebook. Put that out. Let's make that go viral. See if the algorithms will grab that. Probably not, because they don't want that message out, because they have a different, what they call a narrative. They have a perspective. They have a perception of what they think that should happen. They have a perception of that. They really, in their heart, what they won't tell you. Like I said, the media wants the chaos. They want the confusion. They want the conflict. They want the violence. All of it. The sex. Hey, if it makes great video, hey, we got a camera crew. We got a live shot. Let's go to the live shot of the Democrats cussing each other out. Because that's where we headed. They want this convention where there's people fighting and yelling and screaming and cussing at each other. They want the chaos. Chaos, conflict, confusion, hatred, violence. It makes, in the eyes of those in the news business, it makes for great TV, great video to see that. January 6, 2021, all the nation, they carried that. Ratings through the roof. High ratings, they make more money. I can imagine NBC, without seeing any data, I guarantee you, if just by chance you wanted to buy a 30-second commercial, next Monday on the NBC network from 6:30 to 7, when Lester Holt is going to be talking to President Biden. First of all, I guarantee you it's sold out. But even if you could buy airtime for 30 seconds, it's probably going to cost you $5 or $6 million for one 30-second commercial. I told you about the former president at CBS, like CBS News, CBS programs. If whatever you watch on CBS, this guy named Les Moonves was the president who was forced to resign because of some type of sexual harassment, some kind of sexual misconduct. And he walked away with $20 million. But after he got his money and was forced to resign, Les Moonves, whose wife, Julie Chen, is one of the hosts on the show, The Talk. As a matter of fact, he created that show for his wife, Julie Chen. She's like the lead host, and shout out to my girl Cheryl Underwood and the other women that's on the show. Les Moonves, after he was forced to resign, said, this is back around after the 2016 election when Orange Hitler got in office, and one of these news outlets said, well, you know, all the news media, you all gave Donald Trump so much free airtime. All of his rallies, all the batshit crazy stuff he was saying, that they carried it live. They would, for a whole hour, they would have it, Orange Hitler's ass on TV for a whole hour, lying and saying crazy stuff, inciting violence, saying all kind of racist, sexist, misogynistic, homophobic stuff. And they didn't care because it generated ratings, eyeballs, and that generated a lot of money. And Les Moonves said to whoever the journalist was, he said, you know, all the free coverage that we gave Donald Trump was probably bad for our democracy, but it was great for our business. That says it all. You can Google that. I'm paraphrasing the statement, but that's the gist of it. That's the meat. That's the heart and soul of what he was saying. We didn't give a damn about democracy. Yeah, all that free airtime we gave to this crazy so-and-so, that crazy bastard. But all the racist stuff and inciting an insurrection, inciting white nationalists to storm the Capitol to try to violently overthrow the government? Yeah, all that free airtime we gave him was probably bad for democracy. But it was damn good. It was great for business. Oh my God, all the money that we made. That's all the news media cares about. And that's what they want. They want the same chaos, conflict, confusion, violence, all of it. They do, so you got to understand that. Now, let me segue to specifically the Democrats. They call them the elites, the Democrats that are in positions of political power. And I could start name checking some folks, and some of these people I love and I admire what they did. But one thing about us as black people, you can't lie to us. You can't like pee on us and tell us it's raining. We can see and smell a con. And it is clear as a day that they are powerful people in the Democratic Party, the whole Democratic apparatus organization, those who are behind the scenes and those who you see on camera. First of all, a lot of them did not like Joe Biden. They didn't want Joe Biden to run. You got the Hillary Clinton faction, which is James Carville with his funny looking goofy ass, country talking him. And then you got folks, the sophisticated, highbrow, educated people like David Axelrod, who led President Obama's successful campaign, who I know of him. A family member that's passed on was one of, David Axelrod was one of his clients. Not in politics. This is like a personal trainer. But I digress. So you got a lot of people inside the Democratic Party. They don't want Joe Biden to run. But they were not Joe Biden fans to begin with. They didn't support Joe Biden in 2016. They supported Hillary Clinton. So you got the whole Clinton wing, and you got some Obama folks that I don't really get why they don't like Joe Biden, because if anybody, Joe Biden was more loyal to President Obama than a lot of black folks, even black folks that was in President Obama's cabinet. This old white man was 10 toes down, stood on business, loyal to President Obama when he was president and when Joe Biden was vice president. So you've got that whole wing. And then you've got folks, and I talked about this Tuesday, so here's the mic drop right here. So this is where I want you to screen grab this and make sure you make this go viral. There's a significant number of powerful white Democratic women who do not want to see a black woman, Kamala Harris, become president before a white woman. Governor Gretchen Whitmer of Michigan, or Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota. Because remember, in the primary, Gretchen Whitmer did not run, but there was a lot of talk about her running. But Senator Amy Klobuchar did run. Senator Elizabeth Warren. Warren. There you go. Senator Elizabeth Warren ran. Senator from Massachusetts, Senator Amy Klobuchar ran from Minnesota. But still, that was all part of the Hillary Clinton energy. So, and then there's a significant James Carville, that crew, Paul Begala, who really, they don't want Joe Biden. They want, I'm a name check some folks. They want a Gavin Newsom. So when you hear these names, well, who would replace President Obama? First of all, you cannot leapfrog. President Biden said that he is not stepping down, that he's going to run. But okay, if you want to play the game, let's play the hypothetical game. If President Biden stepped down, he's spoke very highly of Vice President Kamala Harris. Constitutionally, if President Biden was to step down today, Vice President Kamala Harris would become President Kamala Harris. And there are a significant number of white, elite, liberal, moderate Democrats who do not want that to happen. And they'll say, oh, well, Kamala Harris, first they'll disrespect her by calling her Kamala. It's Kamala, like comma, and it's Vice President Kamala Harris, or Vice President Harris, put some respect on her name. So you have a significant number of Democrats in positions of power. Then you got your other senators like Michael Bennet, who ran in the primary, to think that they got a chance. So you've got that crew. Now see, Governor Gavin Newsom has been slick, because I keep telling you, he is too thirsty. I can see his thirstiness, but he's slick with it. He's got the, straight from central casting, the handsome white male with his, silver hair and, the chiseled features and all that crap. But Gavin Newsom just gives the energy of a lying-ass, phony used car salesman. He does. From the first time that I saw Gavin Newsom, he just had that. Some people just have a certain energy. And Governor Newsom, who I would vote for if it came down to that, between him and Orange Hitler, heck, I would vote for it. I'm going to date myself. Cheetah. Google Tarzan, the ape man. Oh, you could probably find a video here on YouTube. So Tarzan would swing from the trees, and he had his sidekick, like Batman had Robin, Tarzan had Cheetah. I would vote for the damn monkey. I'd vote for Cheetah before I'd vote for Orange Hitler's ass. But I know I got some people laughing. I bet my mother's laughing right now. She's saying, boy, you crazy. I would vote for Cheetah. I'd vote, hell, I'm going to date myself. I'm going to go old school again. I'd vote for a talking horse. If Mr. Ed was to run for president, over Donald Trump, I'd vote for Mr. Ed. Hello, I'm Mr. Ed. Google that. You can find that in all those, whatever the networks that carry all those old shows from like the 70s or 60s, like sitcoms, funny as heck. I'd vote for Mr. Ed, I'd vote for Cheetah before I'd vote for Orange Hitler, but I digress. But y'all, what we have to understand is that there are a lot of supposedly so-called liberal Democrats, even Nancy Pelosi she tried to kind of play it coy, like, well, I want whatever President Biden wants to do and blah, blah, blah. And, we don't want to lose. Now, I didn't hear Nancy Pelosi say this publicly, but we don't want to lose the House of Representatives. Man, if y'all mess around and let Orange Hitler get back in the White House and they take control of the Senate, they don't give a damn about the House of Representatives. Even though the House of Representatives, basically, they're like the business manager on your job. They do the payroll. They control the money. Man, you think that's gonna stop Orange Hitler if he get back in the White House? Man, he'll probably come up with some kind of executive order. He'll challenge, let's just say if the Democrats control the House, if they try to challenge whatever executive order he has, and it goes to the Supreme Court, well, what do you think? You got 6 MAGA Supreme Court judges that just said that a president has absolute immunity when it comes to an official act. So Orange Hitler could just say, well, I'm issuing an executive order to where I'm going to take over and control all the money. What's the House of Representatives going to do? Sue him and hope that it goes to the Supreme Court? Whose side do you think this MAGA court is going to take? Their Lord and Savior Orange Hitler, their Orange Jesus, or Democrats in the House of Representatives? Man, y'all better stop playing around. But let me just say this to these Democrats. Now, you're going to mess around, you're going to F around and find out for real. First of all, 14 million people voted in all the Democratic primaries that you had all across America. Yeah, all this time, all these other folks, the Gavin Newsoms and the Gretchen Whitmers and the Amy Klobuchars, all the, Pete Buttigieg, all the great white hopes that you all had in mind, hoping that would run, because really, a lot of these Democratic political leaders that's telling President Biden he need to step down, I'm gonna call bullshit. I'm gonna tell you what it's really about. In a significant number, not in each and every case, but in a lot of cases. And it's always too old. President Biden's 81, Orange Hitler's 78. It ain't about age. And Orange Hitler is crazier, more neurotic. You talking about cognitive. That's the cognitive problem. Listen to him, like President Biden said the other night at his news conference. Listen to him. You want to hear somebody that's got cognition problems, listen to Orange Hitler just ramble and talk about sharks and all kind of crazy, and that Hannibal Lecter was he was a fine man, and that Hannibal Lecter would eat you. What? Can you imagine if President Biden said some shit like, oh, Hannibal Lecter was a good dude, and Hannibal Lecter, he would eat you a lot? Huh? And you don't see those clips nowhere. Why is that? Okay? Stop playing around, but listen, Democrats, now you can F around and find out if you want to, okay? Because what you're not going to do, you are not going to leapfrog You're not going to take Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan, and leapfrog Vice President Kamala Harris if Joe Biden steps down, which he says that he won't, and I hope he doesn't. Because what's going to happen, I'm predicting if President Biden does not step down by the end of next week, because Monday, I think it starts Monday or Tuesday, the Republican convention starts. So you're going to really see and hear some crazy, all Project 2025, the President Kevin Roberts, and they're going to try to come on with a suit and tie and smile and act like, well, we're not racist. And they're going to use all these fancy words, big words. They're going to use legalese. But I already told you what Project 2025 is. It is a 900-plus page blueprint, a plan in writing. They didn't ban that book. It's like the size of 2 giant Bibles to reinstate Jim Crow laws, all the Jim Crow laws and all the suffrage laws that were discriminated against women. This will be like, so just think of Project 2025 is like the Jim Crow and suffrage laws 2.0, the Jim Crow era 2.0. That's what Project 2025 is. Just to break it all the way down, like a fraction. Break it down to its least common denominator. Put it where the goats can get it. Break it down like a shotgun. That's what Project 2025 is. Now, I'm sure a lot of these Democrats that want President Biden to step down and want to try to find this great white hope savior would love to be able to get him to step down and change this narrative, because all of a sudden the Republicans wouldn't get all the attention. Oh my God, can you believe it? Oh, President Biden, he stepped down, and Gavin Newsom said he's going, or the party leaders are going to pick Gretchen Whitmer or Amy Klobuchar. And the polling that has been done, President Biden polls better against Orange Hitler than any of those names I mentioned. All of them. I think Vice President Harris polls just a little under what President Biden polled, maybe by a point or two. But what you're not going to do, and if you think, because black women specifically, and along with black men, black women are the foundation and the backbone of the Democratic Party. And black women are calling bullshit. They're like, you can F around and find out if you want to. We know that you don't want this black woman to become president before a white woman did. We are not stupid. And we could see the racism even within the Democratic Party. Now, I'm just calling it like I see it. And a lot of these Democrats, these Democratic political leaders who are calling for President Biden to step down, they either ran against him or didn't want him to run in the first place because they were upset. When he ran in 2016 in the primaries, they didn't support Vice President Biden. They supported Hillary Clinton because she was supposed to be the heir apparent and the first woman president, and they had the plans and all the polls up to election day said that she was going to win, and it didn't. And the tape came out in October where Orange Hitler said you can grab women by the pussy, excuse my French, but those are his words. And I use them so you could understand how graphic and how inhumane and vile and immoral and crude, just demonic spirit, okay? Hillary Clinton was supposed to be President Clinton, but it didn't happen. And a lot of that was, some of that was her campaign's fault. Some of it was her fault, but a lot of it was the misogyny and the sexism. Just understand, or remember, for those who know, the majority of white women, 53, I believe it's either, I think it was 52, 53%. But a majority, that number is right, 52 or 53%. because I think it was 54% when he ran in 2020. Somewhere between 52 to 53% of white women didn't vote for the white woman that ran for president in 2016. They voted for the man who said that you could grab women by their pussy. And to this day, still in my heart, I can't understand that. I get it. I understand that some women, just like you have some black people who carry the racism, the anti-blackness that you see among white racists and white nationalists, Klan members and all that. There are some women who subscribe to the same misogyny and sexism that a sexist man would. That faction of the Democratic Party didn't want Joe Biden. As a matter of fact, Joe Biden he ran, but like he said, because when he saw those white nationalists marching through the fields of the University of Virginia with the tiki torches and the little khaki pants like some punk asses, Jews will not replace us. He said he was running to restore the soul of America. He's a good man. He stuttered all of his life. He's been very open about that. Got a lot on his mind. He stuttered. He may lose his train of thought. Heck, I've had so much, I may misspeak because my mind is moving so fast. I'm trying to cram so much in. My brain is processing 4 or 5 things. 2 words will come out at the same time and it'll sound weird because literally my brain is like a supercomputer when I'm on stage or on camera or behind a microphone. I, who do this for a living and done it for a living, who just had my physical. My doctor was like, dude, he was like, everything came back great. So it can happen to anybody. But understand, Democrats, James Carville and Paul Begala, President Biden, or President Obama, President Barack Obama. Listen, I hear a lot. I don't know. I really don't know. I know that personally you are fond of President Biden, but you are married to a black woman. So I know, you intimately know, which is why you've probably been really mute. Now, there have been a lot in the press about what people around you supposedly is talk about President Obama and President Clinton and Hakeem Jeffries, who's the minority leader in the House of Representatives, the brother from New York, are going to go to the White House this weekend and somehow try to convince President Biden to step down. But what President Obama, married to a woman from the south side of Chicago, the pride of Whitney Young High School, grew up in the, I believe, South Shore, right around South Shore. I don't think it was Chatham. I think the forever First Lady, Michelle Obama's from South Shore, right in that area. Dude, and I'm sure she's told you, and I'm sure she's told the Paul Begalas and the James Carvilles and the ones that want to leapfrog Vice President Harris. And I don't know what kind of really, relationship. I'm not talking about fit. I'm just talking about politically and just as friends and former Democratic leaders. I don't know what type of relationship Vice President Harris has with President Obama and the First Lady, Michelle Obama. But Michelle will tell you, Barack, black women are the reason that President Biden is in the White House. And President Biden, to his word, put a black woman, the first black woman on the Supreme Court, Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. And even though she went hard at him in the debate, at the time, Senator Kamala Harris from California, he picked Kamala Harris, not Amy Klobuchar, not Senator Elizabeth Warren, not Governor Gretchen Whitmer, none of them. He picked Vice President Kamala Harris as his vice president. So what you all are not going to do, you really trust me. You think you have problems now, and Orange Hitler and his MAGA cult and the Project 2025 crew, they are sitting back loving it. Because the Democrats are imploding. They are self-destructing in front of our eyes. Man, y'all, what you need to do, you need to get behind President Biden. You need to focus on Project 2025 every time. Instead of talking about President Biden needs to step down, you need to be saying that Orange Hitler needs to step down because Project 2025 is going to destroy this democracy, install him as a dictator, and take away all the civil rights, voting rights, equal rights, women's reproductive rights, deport 20 million immigrants, and then they're going to start deporting people who were born in America because there's already talk part of Project 2025 is to go after birthright citizenship. So when you hear people talking about in Project, you can find it, Google it in Project 2025, they're going to be talking about changing the 14th Amendment and getting rid of or changing birthright citizenship. That means if you were born here, so let me just explain it and break it down. Birthright citizenship in the Constitution, I believe the 14th Amendment means if a person is born on American soil by birthright, that person is an American. I don't care where their mama, their daddy could have just swam across a river, the ocean, snuck on an airplane and hid out in the cargo section, and they have a child. If that child is born on American soil, they are an American citizen. That is according to the Constitution. But they want to change that so they can decide and determine who is an American citizen. And they want to ban birth control. They want to ban abortions. They want a national abortion ban. And they want to ban all abortions and something called IVF. That is basically medical treatment procedures for people who are infertile, who can't have children naturally to have. They can either freeze like the eggs, a woman's eggs, or a man's sperm. Or if let's just say if a man is infertile, but the woman's eggs are fertile, they can get a sperm donor. Or in case if it's a woman, she can use a surrogate, find another woman, and they will basically fertilize an embryo and install that embryo in another woman who can physically carry a baby to term. And then once she carries the baby to term, then she gives, the baby to the couple. They want to ban all of that. So that's what James Carville, that's what your little funny country talking ass needs to be talking about every time. Paul Begala, all of you all. Everybody, Senator Jim Hines of Connecticut, and everybody in the House of Representatives, the senators, that's what you all need to be talking about 24/7. You need to stop saying that President Biden can't win, because he can win. So don't listen to anybody that you see on TV. Listen to yourself. I keep telling you that you, me, we have the power. We get to decide. Now, if we don't use this power, it's going to be lost. We won't have it in this or probably the next lifetime. This power will be, what happens in the next 6 months politically will determine the next 60 years in America. So while we collectively, while we have the power and we got it, use it, because they're trying to punk you out of your power. Project 2025 and Orange Hitler and all that whole crew, they are trying to punk you out of your power and to scare you and to have you living in fear. Like, well, we don't, and the head of Project 2025, Kevin Roberts said, we are like at the beginning of the second American Revolution that will happen at the voting box and will be bloodless if the left allows it. The man said that we're at the beginning of the second American Revolution that will be bloodless if the people who don't agree with us allow it to be bloodless. So they're threatening a civil war that will end poorly. Nobody, I guarantee you, and I promise you, so you don't want to go down that road. To all those MAGA cult members and Kevin Roberts and Steve Bannon and Stephen Miller, stop. Nobody wants this. You don't want that smoke? Nobody wants that smoke because America will lose. America will lose. All of us. And Putin will be like, well, thank you. Heck, you did my work for you. You did my job for me. Crazy as the leader of North Korea, Kim Jong-un, look at him. Did my job for me. Didn't have to drop one bomb. Didn't have to poison nobody. Didn't have to try to assassinate nobody. We will self-destruct. KRS-One, the rapper back in the 80s, had a song headed for self-destruction. Stop, Democrats, stop. Because if you were really slick, if you really had that game, I'm gonna put you up on game. Like the older brothers used to say to the young brothers on the south side of Chicago when I was a kid, say, yo, young buck, young bruh, come here, sit down. I'm gonna put you up on game. That meant they were gonna give you some knowledge. Or my grandfather had an even better term. Conway Jones would say, let me pull your coat. So Democrats in leadership, the Democratic elites and the donors, George Clooney, I'm talking to you, Ashley Judd, was it Abigail Disney, who said she's not going to donate any more money to any Democrat until President Biden. You all don't give a damn because you all are white and privileged and got a whole lot of money. Abigail Disney, she don't give a damn. Only she'll get in office, she ain't worried. The Disney family, she got enough money. She could buy a new country. Buy an island. Stop playing. But what you need to understand is you are playing right into the hands of the MAGA cult. But you cannot leapfrog Vice President Harris. So here, let me pull your coat, Democrats. Shut up. Get behind President Biden. Well, we'll be acting like the MAGA cult and the Republicans and just, no, stop it. Because you can't even compare President Biden, who is a decent man and who's done a hell of a job with everything he's accomplished. I'm going to do just all the stuff from insulin for seniors on Medicare at $35 a month. Max, put a cap on that so your parents and grandparents on Medicare are not paying $600, $700, $800, $900 a month or more for insulin. Went from that to $35 a month. Not to mention all the hundreds of thousands, probably close to millions of people, including a lot of black folks, that got their student loan debt either fully canceled, halfway canceled, or partially canceled. Canceled 20,000, 50,000. I heard on Sirius XM, it was a black woman that got her doctorate, PhD, I think in finance. She had listen to what I'm saying. She had $400,000 of student loan debt. And it was all canceled. Thank you, President Joe Biden. So, Democrats, I'm pulling your coat. Let me put you up on game. I'm pulling your coat. Stop. Attack Orange Hitler. Let everybody expose every page of Project 2025. Because Project 2025 doesn't just come from black folks, Afro-Latinos, or Hispanics. They come from Native Americans, Asian Americans. They come from white women. National abortion ban on birth controls, on IVF, all that. Criminalizing a woman and a doctor if they get an abortion, if there's a national abortion ban. But if you are a white man and you're not a billionaire and you don't worship the MAGA cult, they will come for you. Even white folks, white men with money, if they really get their grip, if they get their fingers around power, they'll come for you too. Just talk to, wealthy business people in Hungary. No, better yet, if you could, without them being poisoned, talk to some of these Russian oligarchs that have to bow down and break off Vladimir Putin, or he'll come after their company and take their company from him. So even your money, even white men, privileged white men with money, they will come for you. They came for Mike Pence, and he was the vice president, and they came to hang his ass. So they'll just start off with black people and Afro-Latino and Hispanic and Native Americans, Asian Americans, Asian Pacific Islanders, folks in Samoa and Hawaii, but and white women, but they'll eventually come for white men too, if you don't worship the cult. So, Democrats, James Carville, they'll come for your ass. You know Trump don't like you. He would lock your ass up in a heartbeat. Paul Begala, all of you all these Democrats, senators in the House of Representatives, Michael Bennet, U.S. Representative Jim Hines in Connecticut. You don't think he would? He already said it. He'd probably go after Hillary Clinton, and Bill Clinton would probably be some of the first people that they would lock up. He'd make Putin look like Barack Obama. If Orange Hitler gets in power, stop playing it. That's his idol. That's who he wants to be. He's been clear about that. He said he wanted to be a dictator on day one. What are you all? What don't you understand? So I'm putting you up on game. Now I know that there are a lot of white Democrats, women and men, who do not want to see a black woman. It's bad enough that a black man became president, but oh my God, a black woman become president of the United States before a white woman? I'm telling you what they won't say out. They don't have the guts, because they understand if they piss off black women, you won't have a Democratic Party. You won't. And they know it. That's the most loyal part of the Democratic base of voters are black women. But they don't want a black woman to become president. That's what this is all about. This is what Joe is old. He needs to notice that you always see some of these names I mentioned. Just look at TV. Here's the tell. It's not even a test. Here is the tell that will let you know that everything I am saying to you on this show is true. Every time you hear a white Democrat say that President Biden should step down, count the ones that say, but I support Vice President Kamala Harris should be the president. They never say that. Never. He should step down. Okay, he should step down, and then so that means we got a vice president who should step up. Who you never hear that part because the media don't ask it because they in on the hustle, they in on the con. And all of these white Democrats that have called for President Biden to step down are not calling. They say, oh, well, we could have what they call, when you hear brokered convention, that means that they want to go to the convention that's going to be in Chicago the third week of August and figure out a way to leapfrog and push Vice President Kamala Harris aside and hope that we'll fall for it so they can get Governor Gretchen Whitmer, get a white woman, or Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota. Probably not Elizabeth Warren. I don't think Elizabeth Warren would go for that. I would be surprised. Or somehow maybe we could get Governor Gavin Newsom of California, and then Governor Gretchen Whitmer of Michigan. That would be like their dream ticket. These white Democrats that are trying to force Joe Biden out, that's what they want. They don't want to see another black person in power. They do not like Vice President Kamala Harris because they feel that white women are entitled and that Hillary Clinton was cheated. When it wasn't about she was cheated, it was the campaign was arrogant. They were kind of lazy when it came to really reaching out to black voters. They just assume, black folks, because I'm a Clinton, so black folks are just I don't have to really make an effort. They talked about how, she did very little, she didn't really go to Michigan until almost the end of the campaign where there were signs that she might lose. Then all of a sudden she'd go into Michigan to Detroit. But it was like, black folks, they love Bill. I'm here, they gonna support me. Don't take people for granted. Don't do that. But you did, and you lost. And I voted for Hillary Clinton. And I'd have voted for her again. Heck, I'd vote for her now. But she's not up now. So that ship has sailed. But they damn sure don't want a black woman to get that shot. It was bad enough for their kids to have to see a black man. And now for these white women to have to see a black woman in the most powerful position on the planet, no, they don't want it. They won't say it out loud. They won't tell you that, but I'm telling you that. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you, and especially you most of all. Thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. Come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. So Monday, my regular Friday guest co-host, Ms. Keila Carson, is going to be on the show. So I'm going to get her take. So I don't have to speak for black women. We're going to have a dynamic black woman speaking for herself. The Geno Jones Show brought to you by CM, like Mary, my mother's name, CM Transportation. If your business needs a transportation company that is dependable, reliable, and on time, CM Transportation, LLC.net. Shout out to Carissa Carter, the CEO of CM Transportation, LLC.net. Online, or call them 843 area code 606-2702. 843 area code 606-2702. Shout out to Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. He is the CEO of Designer Cuts here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro. Check him out on Instagram, on IG. Kel Be Cutting Up, KELBECUTTINUP. Allie Jones and Bruce Gage, the official wardrobe consultants and stylists for the Geno Jones Show. Allie Jones, check out her Lexi Jones collection at LX.NCL underscores that little dash behind the last L. LX.NCL underscore. Bruce Gage, Miglio Di Mario Uomo, and Flyball the Store. Miglio Di Mario Uomo. Many of the blazers you see and suits that you see me wear from the Mario Uomo collection. Miglio Di Mario Uomo is MIGLIODIMARIOUOMO. MIGLIODIMARIOUOMO. And flyballthestore.com. FLYBALLTHESTORE.com. Have a great weekend. Be sure to please leave your comments, because I had a whole lot to say, because it's been a hell of a week. So I want to give me your comments. I want to hear what you have to say. Please leave your comments. Tell everybody you know, everybody that you send a copy of this show. everybody that you copy and paste a link to an email or text, or that you share the show to their page, you share it, you tag it. Whatever you do, make it go viral, leave a comment. Thank you, and tell everybody to please subscribe. My goal to get 1,000 new subscribers by Labor Day weekend. I am on my way. So let's spread the word. Let's make this show go viral, because it was fire. Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend. Let me get some water. I'm going to be like President Biden, right? It's hot in the studio with the lights. So, but I do hydrate, even though I used to drink some water. See, I got water right here. And my Perrier is somewhere. Perrier, y'all need to cut me a check. But anyway, have a great weekend. I will see you live Monday, 6:30. For all my radio fans here in Charleston, South Carolina, who listen online at Star 99.7, star997.com. I'll be back on the radio Monday morning, 10 a.m. I love you. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you live Monday. So go back and binge watch this not just this episode. Yes, I want you to binge watch this episode, but I want you to binge watch this and every episode. And please leave your comments. Leave your comments in the comment section on this and every show.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.